He wants words.
This could be number 38.
We were so close.
Lucky
we were
number.
so
Pretty good
close
guy.
to 40.
Yeah, we were at 40. So this is episode. This is episode 38.
It's 39.
We don't know what episode
Shit.
it is, so it pretty much is episode.
So 40. Okay, you
whatever.
were
39.
Oh, it's 39.
39.
39.
Yeah, 39.
I'm glad we took.
I'm so confused right now. Local bands I knew were at Strawberries in the CDs. Like there was,
Yeah,
there was
I
local
remember Scared
bands.
being in
Yeah.
there and everything.
Do you have anything to say, bud? Soft touch mechanism.
Actually, we found him from Craigslist.
Found him from Craigslist.
So for you it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
Tell us about the history of your band. 'Cause that's what I love. I always do it that way. I want to know. I want to know the infancy of it. I want to know when it started.
Well,
Before then, what's your names for the camera?
oh,
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
I am Otavio.
I am Anthony.
I am the vocalist of Soft Touch Mechanism. Anthony, what do you do?
I play guitar.
Wow. Fancy.
Absolutely.
That is us. This is what we do. This is what we do.
I love it. I love it.
That's it.
So tell me, like, how did this all come about? This soft touch mechanism. What year did it start? What was the year? I want to know the year.
2019.
2018, I would say. I think.
Who started the band?
18. The two of us.
The two of
The
us.
two of
did.
you started the band.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the OGs. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
we both started the band when we were 8.
I was 19.
You were 19. I was 20. And I have no idea what happened. I was in a different project called Stone Rub.
Stone Rub?
Yep, and it was Stoner.
Whoa. But don't go just glance over that on me.
Okay.
So your band name was Stone Rub? Like, explain yourself
Stone
right
Rub.
now.
So it was actually Stoner backwards. Because we were in a,
Stone
classic rock style.
Stone Rub is Stoner backwards?
Well,
now
that's
I'm very
all right.
confused.
Hang on.
Now
I'll
I'm
explain the
confused.
story to
Something
them.
tells me we need a piece
So-
of paper.
So our
I
guitarist
got a
in that
whiteboard.
band was smoked weed constantly.
That's my life. Go ahead.
Yep, mine too.
Good.
And he came up to me one day and he was like, "Dude, you know, it would be a sick name for the band, Stone Rub." And then I was like, "Why?" He's like, "It's Stoner backwards." And then I was like, "Fuck it, I don't give a fuck what the name is, just as long as we're playing
How is
music.
it
I don't
Stoner
care."
backwards, though? If
I don't know. Listen,
Stoner ends in R.
yeah, but I mean,
So Stone Rub couldn't be...
I don't ask questions. I
Yeah.
just want to make music. You know what I mean? That's what I want to fucking do.
I'm into it,
I
man.
don't
That's
care.
rock and roll as hell.
But yeah, it is. But
I love how
was,
young bands get their band names.
I was
I know.
in-
It's like this is what I love. I love these questions. Keep going.
Yeah.
Tell me
So-
all about it.
I was in a project like that.
What
and-
kind of music did Stone Rub play?
It was like classic rock style. Like it was. It was
Okay,
really-
I love classic rock.
Yeah. It was this weird blend of like AC/DC, but it was mixed with like the Grateful Dead. We were hard like AC/DC, but we would just
Hard.
improvise.
So when you say hard like AC/DC, like the vocal wise?
No,
Or
like
the
high
riff-wise?
gain,
The high gain.
super high gain, and
And then you had like vocals like
yeah,
Grateful
like
Dead?
Bonds, more Bon Scott than Brian Johnson.
Good
Okay.
idea.
Yeah, I was a big
Approved
fan of
by
Brian
Andrew,
Johnson.
approved.
When I was a kid. And we wrote a whole album, and I wanted to start recording, the modern way. And the guitarist of the band wanted to just do all amps and have the guy come in, and I was totally open for that. But the problem was that we just didn't have the money to do it. But I kind of knew that we weren't going to go anywhere because we were fighting back and forth on it, and decided that I wanted to make metal music because I was also huge into that. And then
What's your favorite genre of music?
I'm all over the place nowadays.
No, you have to give me one. What's your ultimate favorite genre of music?
I will say this. Metal will always be my favorite genre.
Okay.
By far.
You said it. You just don't even
Yes.
realize you made your choice.
Yes, I did make my choice.
What's yours?
No,
What's
there-
yours?
It's definitely metal.
Favorite metal?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
it's,
cool.
it's metal hands down.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
listen
not
to metal.
hardcore.
Hardcore's sick,
You
but
can only either go one way. I've learned.
Yeah,
It's either metal or
I
hardcore.
feel like-
okay, there's
Wait,
no in
wait.
between.
the metal that I listen to,
post-hardcore,
I'm
I
into
don't
a lot of the like technical melodic stuff. Like my favorite band of all time is Alluvial.
Okay,
Super
not
super,
familiar.
Super sick band.
Uh huh.
Wes Hotch, Hotch,
Hotch, yeah, I think
yeah,
about it.
that's his name. He's the guitarist for that
Name
band.
of the band one more time.
Alluvial.
Are you guys?
And-
Anybody?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I've never heard them, but I think I've heard the name before.
So
Okay. What style are they?
they're like
metal?
tech death.
Tech
Like,
death.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah, that's why I've never heard them.
Wes did a lot of stuff for other bands. Like he wrote guitar for a lot of other bands. He was on Periphery too.
Mm-hmm.
Did a lot of the solos and stuff on that.
That's the connection that I know that.
Yeah.
Because I've heard about them from the Periphery 2 connection.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. So he was writing for bands like that, and then he was like, you know what? Fuck it. Why write for bands when I can start my own? And he started
Or do
Alluvial.
both.
Or do both. And yeah, dude, they're fucking unbelievable.
Hell
I
yeah.
love them.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that I started listening to metal more and more. Wanted to start a band like that, and I was talking to Anthony since like we were in high school.
Now, do you prefer Anthony or Tony?
I've gone
Because
back
he
and
just called
forth.
you Anthony. It says Tony on Facebook, and now I'm
So
confused.
Tony started when I was in like third grade, and then Anthony.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess I just kept.
What do you
doing
like
it.
better?
John.
I think Anthony these
Anthony,
days.
okay.
I think
Anthony,
these
it's
days.
respectable.
You know what I mean?
It's
makes- it
Italian,
matches-
you know
it
what I
matches
mean?
the dress
Anthony.
pants.
Anthony.
Tony's like
You know
the
what I
guy
mean?
you don't want cutting your hair.
With Tony, you don't
Or
fuck
working
with
on your
Tony
car.
either.
You have
bro.
a
You don't fuck with
Tavio
Tony.
and you have Anthony.
Yeah, you
like
Tony
you don't
or
get more
Anthony.
Italian than that.
Yeah.
But
Are
yeah.
you Italian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everything
this
makes
whole room
sense.
is
legit-
full.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Full.
Is that what I'm
You
saying?
smell? You smell that?
Yeah. Pasta fagioli.
Smells like Di Serono and sweat.
Smells like Canadian here all of a sudden.
But yeah, I've been talking to Anthony since we were in high school, and I was like,
Got
dude,
it.
we should start a band. We should start a band, and he was like,
No.
no, I don't want to fucking do that.
Smart man. Smart
It's
man.
fucking terrible.
And
There's a smart man right here.
he,
But you got him, didn't you? You
I
seduced
did.
him. You seduced him.
I think it all started after we went to Warp Tour.
Okay.
He, the last Warp Tour, I took him. He's never been, and
I took him.
whatever, same shit.
So usually when I go to Warp Tour, there's a band that I'm really looking forward to see. When you went to that particular Warp Tour, who are you guys going for?
There is a
You
really,
remember
really
that one band that you
sick
saw that was like the band you were going to see?
story to this. And the reason why we were going to Warp Tour was because at the time, still am,
So I knew there was something
massive,
to it.
massive Motionless in White fan.
Oh.
My dude. Hell yeah.
And
Is that where you got the inspiration for when you did wear the face paint and
yes,
stuff like that? Okay,
yes,
I like
very
it.
much.
Chris is one of the nicest dudes on the planet.
Oh, he really
Yeah.
is, dude.
One of the
I've met
nicest
him
guys.
twice.
Yeah, me
and
too.
he's
A
just-
showman, really.
Yeah.
He really is. But I had a goal at that Warped Tour. I was like, I'm going to fucking meet him. Like, he is my inspiration. He's my hero. I'm going to meet him. And a huge advertisement came out. I'm going to kill somebody.
It's okay. We're getting a phone call, guys. You should
yeah.
put it on speaker. We
This
can all
is-
talk.
This
we
is
do
someone
that
from
sometimes.
Charlestown. I don't even know who it is, so
Okay.
we're not going to answer it.
It could be a big opportunity. It could be the next break.
It could be.
Maybe Chris
Get
is in
on it.
Charleston.
Yeah. Forward it over here.
So, when a huge advertisement came out for Warped Tour that if you donated blood to American Cross, you could get VIP passes to go backstage and meet the bands.
Where the hell? I didn't see that
And
advertisement.
You could just walk back there,
was-
too.
Yeah, I
You
know.
just walk right back
But
there.
I
No one
was
stops
like,
you.
This is my shot. This is my fucking shot
Yeah.
to go meet Motionless in White. This is it. So I called Anthony and I said, dude, and I explained the situation to him and he goes, fuck no. What? No, we're not doing that. And then I was like, dude, this band means fucking everything to us. We have to get in there and meet these guys. And he was and then he brought it up to his girlfriend at the time, and we brought it up to our buddy Louie, who was coming with us, and they knew that they didn't want to do it, but I just sucked them in. So we went to the place to donate
Red
blood.
Cross.
Red Cross.
Red Cross.
And as soon as we got in, he was having a hard time
bleeding.
Couldn't
bleed.
And
Sometimes that happens to me.
I couldn't.
It is what it is.
I
Yeah,
couldn't.
on this arm.
And I'm going to
This
show
one's
you guys
empty.
right now on the camera right here. I got these fucking pierced. So that was like 3 months before I was supposed to go in to donate blood. So they didn't take my blood. So his ex-girlfriend at the time donated blood. Louis donated blood. The two people that didn't want to do it out of anybody. And then after that, they asked how they get the VIP passes and everything. And they said, oh, that was just from this certain date to this certain date. So you guys can't get them.
Correct.
So
wow.
we got fucked.
Oh.
But it was for a good cause.
It was for a good cause.
You got
so.
fucked for a good cause.
Yep. So
Has a ring to it.
we wound up going to Warped Tour.
Yep.
And as soon as...
So you ended up just going to Warped Tour as is, general admission.
Yep. And
through the gates.
I went on...
Was there seats at Warped Tour?
No.
No, it was just
one
No,
ticket.
you just
you
go
just-
in.
Just one ticket,
Yeah, you
right?
just
All
showed
the
up and did
Xfinity
whatever the fuck
right.
you wanted, bro. It was
Yeah.
just a free for all.
And
Yeah.
Best time ever.
I went on Instagram. I happened to go on Instagram, and Ryan, the guitarist of Motionless, posted on there. They weren't supposed to do meet and greets that day. He posted last minute that they were going to be there from 3:30 to like 5:30. And I showed Anthony, and we went in, and I got to meet Chris. It was literally like...
Were they doing like the
best
thing at the
experience.
tent?
Yes.
The merch
yes,
tent
but
where they would let people come
Yep.
by in a line?
Was this the Mass date or the Connecticut date?
The Mass date.
Because I went to both, but I don't remember them doing a meet and greet.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to. And then they just... I think Ice Nine Kills was supposed to do it, and then they didn't. And Motionless took it.
Oh.
And I was so happy. That's when I got to meet them. And I talked to Chris, and I said, dude, I was just going to let you know that you have made me want to become a musician. You are the man that made me just find my fucking goal in life of what I want to do. And I appreciate it so much. And, you know, like, this band just means the world to me. You guys got me through so much. And he got emotional, man. He started tearing up and put his hand on his chest, and he was like, dude, like, this is why I do what I do. It's for you guys. You know, this is, I you know, just want to be able to reach out to people that need us and help them find their way in life. And I will never, ever, ever forget that day.
That's massive. That's
yeah,
huge.
that was a big day for me. And
It certainly is.
we literally actually met them, got done. He disappeared. I was watching a band. I think that you should tell the rest of the story, because this is when you met somebody and shit just started going crazy. So I think
Hell
that
yeah.
you should take the reins
So I
on
had
this
a-
one.
We love this stuff.
I had
Let's
a
get into it.
oh
Let's
yeah,
get
this is good
into
stuff.
it.
No, I had a Motionless shirt,
Yep.
I love Warped Tour so much.
and it had some zombie chick on it, and it's not something that I would just like wear. Oh yeah. I think it's stuck under the table. Hi. Not something I would just like wear to like a children's event, so I wore it to Warped Tour, and this random dude comes up to me and he's like, "Dude, I fucking love your shirt," and I was like, "Cool, thank you." I'm super introverted. I don't talk to people, but I go to massive fucking concerts. I imagine you guys probably feel the same.
Yep.
And the guy was like, "Dude, like, what instrument do you play?" And I was like, "Oh, I kind of like fuck around like on bass and guitar." And he somehow convinced me to join his band. And he had a band in Rhode Island. And then I was like talking to him through Facebook, and then he was like, "Oh, by the way, like, I also need a guitarist and a bassist and a vocalist and whatever." He's like, "I can play all instruments, so whatever you guys want me to play, I'll play." And I was like, "Holy shit, this is bad." And I was like, I've never played in a band before, and so I called him and I was like, "Hey, he needs everything." I was like, "Can you come and drum for us?" Because I think he wants to do vocals. And so he came down to drum for a day, and then we just kind of jammed and played like Motionless songs. And then we went back the next week and we played a little bit more. And then he brought some random dude, we wound up at that dude's sister's house because she had a printer so that we could print flyers for, hey, join our band. And then that day driving home, we were kind of like,
Bad vibes.
yeah, we gotta go. I don't know. It was just bad all around.
Bad
It was
vibe.
really bad.
It was just bad vibes.
I think one of
Let
the
air
worst.
it out. We're good. We always air it
I'm
out.
about to say,
Yeah,
so,
oh, yeah.
so spill the tea. Who's the dude?
I think what kind of set us over the edge was there was "keep out" written in red on his door.
That doesn't bother me at all.
No, but we asked him what he wrote it in, and I think he said that he wrote it in his blood.
That sounds good.
And we were like,
He was like,
"Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's cool." And
They're reasonable.
there's
yeah,
people that are like edgy for the sake of being edgy.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are just like kind of fucked.
Mhm.
Like just kind of weird. And this dude was
I
just
know a
kinda weird.
bunch.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we found out pretty much instantly that like musicians are some of the worst types of people. Like they're
Absolutely.
crazy. So anyways, we're driving
Never
home.
meet your idols. They say
No, honestly, don't meet your heroes. Don't do it.
I met my hero, and it was pretty great. And clearly, he had a good
Yeah,
time too. So
I don't think I had such a great
I'm gonna go
experience.
against that,
Yeah.
but to each his own. I
yeah.
guess.
I think after that experience,
Craigslist.
yeah, we
jeez.
went on Craigslist. No, but that's the thing.
Wait, so then it just becomes you guys? at
No,
this
Yeah,
point?
we were
it
just
But
like,
it's
became
back
us.
to just you two.
Yeah,
and now
we
you're
went to
into it.
Craigslist.
You're like, okay, I'll start a band.
Mhm.
This is kind of fun. Like, what made you? You
Yep.
were
We
like
needed a
starting to
drummer.
have fun
That
or
was
something.
that was dead set.
What
Yeah,
made
yeah.
you flip? The fact that you just started doing it and you were like, now I gotta keep doing it because I started it and I gotta finish it, kind of thing, or because
I
you
think
weren't
it was
into it
like-
at first and now
I don't
you're
know.
into it.
I think when I was a kid, I always wanted to do it. Like when I was a
Okay.
kid, I wanted to like be a rock star. My papa was. I have all of his guitars. He was heavily into music.
Both of our grandparents
Yeah.
and
Um,
my uncle too.
But so I had like his guitars and I had like the knowledge of music like when I was younger. And then as I got older, like I never really
Take over for a second.
wanted to do it. So then, I don't know. I just kind of felt like, why not?
We both had
Hi.
How you doing?
yeah. Hey,
I'm here.
Welcome to Mike. He does that.
we both had people in our lives, in our family that played music. His grandfather played guitar and recorded music. And then my grandfather played drums for a band. And he just did it for fun. But my uncle actually played in Boston, the band, when he was young. My grandfather's brother.
No kidding.
No shit.
So
Wow.
he helped write the first album and all that stuff. And the only reason why people don't really know about him is because he got into a really bad car accident, and the band got signed. They got a big fat check, and he went out and he bought a I can't remember if it was like a Corvette or a Mustang, something like that. And it was a manual. Got into an accident. The stick shift went through his chest. He hit his face off of the steering wheel, and
Jeez.
he was in a coma
It's like I
for
never
6 months. And at that point, they had to find somebody else to replace him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was out. But, yeah, I think just from being around musicians in my family and being around, my uncle as well. My uncle was in a band, and watching him, my other uncle, my Uncle Joe, really like got me into wanting to pursue it. So my Uncle Joe actually, for people that don't know, devitalized. John Paul and JoJo, they are my cousins. And yeah, Joe Senior is their dad.
Oh, no kidding.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, he taught me guitar, and just me and Joe used to sit and chill and just write music, practice, and yeah, kind of just full circle. It's a small world.
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
yeah.
That's Rhode Island for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but after everything happened with that other guy that we tried out for the band, or we just decided that,
Craigslist.
Craigslist would be the move. We didn't know.
Now we're on Craigslist.
We knew nothing.
We didn't know what we were doing.
No,
Wait,
I'm going to safely assume it didn't work out for you, because it didn't work out
Well,
for us.
actually, we found him from Craigslist.
Found him from Craigslist.
So for you it worked out beautifully.
Yeah,
that's
and
great.
Awesome.
we also found our bassist Chris from Craigslist.
So
That
you
was
okay?
Craigslist
So
too?
you got 2 good ones. Fantastic.
Yes,
We did.
And
Wait, at this point, did you guys have a band name yet? Or
Okay,
no?
so here's what happened. So we found our first drummer. At the start of the band, it was a 6-piece band. We had 2 vocalists, 2 guitarists, a bassist, and a drummer. And it didn't work out for multiple reasons. It went from 6 people to like 3 people for a little while. It was just us and our drummer for a little while. And at that point, we realized we needed to stop spending money on a hourly rental place, and we got our own space, which was the Sound Museum, which I don't know if a lot of people know about that down here, but that place got knocked down, cycled through other people. It just didn't work out, and then eventually we landed on Matt and Chris, and that's kind of like when things started to get moving, because
And we're talking 2019. We're talking about a little right before pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing.
oh yeah,
we were supposed to go in,
How does the
record
pandemic fit into this equation?
the whole EP. We were scheduled to go record a live demo at the hourly place because the engineer there said he would do it, and we were like, sick, it's gonna be dope. And we went in, got all prepared. Something happened. The dude messed up the scheduling, and then he was like, look, come back next Saturday. He's like, I'll give you a discount. Cool. Next Saturday, the 2-week shutdown started. And then that turned into where we are right now. So I had to take out a bank loan, and I bought a computer and a bunch of plugins, and we just recorded it ourselves. And then we sent, after years of writing it, because it was really hard. We were trying to write with people, and we had a lot to learn in the short amount of time that we were, getting to this point. And just all the different people that we couldn't seem to, mesh our ideas together with. So we just did it all ourselves. And it gave us a really good insight as to a lot of the hell that goes into this industry, you know what I mean? It gave us some insight for speaking to engineers, and once we started to play shows, we got to just, I don't know, experience everything the way that we wanted to for a little while, and then all of a sudden it started, I mean, even just this past January, it just kind of started to pop off a little bit. But for the first 5 years, it was just just go in and just grind. Even though the first 4 years we kind of got nowhere, just because of we just kept we had a lot to learn. I don't know. We had a lot of things we had to cycle through. It is what it is. That's an old one. We don't need to play this one.
Jesus.
Yeah, this can go away.
This is not our bassist now.
Okay, so as reference for you guys at home,
It's a cool bass.
this
though.
is not the bassist of Soft Touch Mechanism. If
No.
you stumble upon this
The
video,
old one.
like I have, if you stumble upon it as I have, that
I
is
don't believe in
not.
deleting any history.
Yeah.
No, definitely no deleting history.
Revisionist history is dumb.
But yeah, I mean, we just busted our ass and trying to just keep motivation up when it was, taking forever to get to where we actually wanted to be. It was tough. It was definitely tough.
Definitely.
But we're here.
We are.
We made it.
That's dope. So basically, at what point in that timeline did the band name get chosen and stuff?
Pretty
Did we
early.
answer that
Right.
yet?
that's all
Pretty
you.
early.
Was it
It
before
was-
the drummer? Or was it after?
It was
Probably 6 months in.
yeah. We
Okay.
we were trying to figure it out, and
And how? What I want to know, what the decision making was.
Who
on the
pitched it,
band
and what was the
thing,
worst idea?
so I don't think we really. Oh, we
What was a bad idea? We had a couple of bad ideas.
we had a couple of bad ideas. No name basis
That was
was
my
was
idea. That was my idea.
no name
That was
basis
bad.
was because we were we couldn't think of a name, and we were like, what would be a good band name if we can't figure out a band name? And it was just no name basis because
Where'd Caruso go? That's
Just
the most him shit I've ever heard
yeah,
in my life.
it's pretty bad.
Which ironically he named our band, but that is the most him shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. And we were just let's just not force it. If it happens when it happens, and when we wound up getting our practice space at the Sound Museum, Anthony brought up the idea of getting a small box or something for rent to leave the cash in. So then the landlord could just come in, grab the cash, and dip. So I was like, all right, yeah. So our first drummer at the time before Matt said, I have to go get some drum stuff at Guitar Center. So, I said, I'll go with him and I'll see if I can just find something to put the money in, just to get it done. We went to Guitar Center. He found the stuff that he needed, and I was looking downstairs, and I just saw a lunchbox. Yeah. And it was like a small boom box, and it was like all pretty, and it had a little cassette in it on the picture. And so I just grabbed that, and I was like, we'll just put the money in here. So I was in my car with him, and we were driving back, and he was like, this is actually pretty cool, this is a pretty sick the little boom box on here and the tape and everything. So I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I said, it also says Soft Touch Mechanism on it. And he said, yeah, it does. And then I said, that'd be a pretty cool band name. And he said, fuck no, it wouldn't. And I was like, well, why not? And he said, I don't know, it just wouldn't be. And then I was like, I don't know. I mean, it's on here. I mean, we just bought it to put the money in. I mean, fuck it. So I brought it to Anthony, and he was like, fuck no, that's a terrible idea. And I said, well, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. It makes sense to me. There's something about it. There's just something that. So
that's the thing, is that the first time I hear the band name, and the people at home that may be hearing it for the first time, or maybe people who already have been listening to the band and have heard the band for the first time, when you hear Soft Touch Mechanism, do you have questions?
Yes.
Many.
You know what I mean?
Very.
And here's your answer.
So, quick little side note. I remember we went to go see Dragged Under, which is the YouTuber Fluff, his band. And we were talking to the lead vocalist of Dragged Under, and we were telling him that we were just starting a band, and he was like, oh, what's your guys' band name? And we said Soft Touch Mechanism, and he goes, sounds hot. Sounds hot. And I was like, oh man, but if only he knew what it meant. But I was telling Anthony I thought it would be pretty cool. He's like, let me at least just look it up and figure out
what Soft Touch Mechanism
is. Soft Touch Mechanism. What is? So I was thinking, or
here we
actually,
go, guys.
We were all thinking that it said Soft Touch Mechanism because it was the name of the cassette, the song, whatever. No. Soft Touch Mechanism is actually like the little glass piece where you can see through into to see the tape through the boombox, if that makes sense. I'm trying.
You might be dating yourself, but I think all of us
when
know
you
what you're
push
talking about.
down on the play button and it's got some spring.
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about.
Yeah, I only had cassettes for a long time in my life.
Yeah, but on the glass, on that
probably 10 years,
where you can see through to the tape, they say Soft Touch Mechanism on them. So Anthony looked it up, and when you press a play button on like a boombox or a tape recorder or whatever, and you feel like that spring, that is a soft touch.
Spring and then snap.
Yeah, and that snap, it holds it down and everything. That is a soft touch mechanism.
It's literally like a part that's manufactured.
It's so we thought about it as we are the soft touch mechanism. We are the thing that plays the music. And you guys just sit and listen and, just enjoy. So we thought about it as we are the soft touch mechanism. We are soft touch mechanism. The big reveal,
dude. This is great. This is great stuff.
This is what it is.
Classified shit.
It just made perfect sense to me because, it has to do with music. And not only does it have to do with music, but it plays music. So that's it. That's where we got the band name.
You guys, and you play some pretty damn good music.
Thanks, man.
Speaking of which, before I have my
I don't know if I'd call it music, but
I would. What genre would you classify you guys?
Alternative metal.
Yeah.
Alternative metal, guys. You heard it first. And okay, we're gonna go back into the story. I want to know the first show you played and how it went. And where it was.
It went really well.
It did.
Where was
All
it?
things considered.
What
Yep.
year was this? Like, what year are we in now? We're playing a show. What year?
Oh.
Is it 2020 now? Is
Yeah.
this
This is
obviously we're-
21.
So now
2021.
we're past the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
It's safe to play shows now. You
Yep.
guys are doing it.
Yep.
And
I
you've
don't
been
remember
planning behind the scenes this whole time because pandemic and
the place was called Club Bohemia.
Yeah.
And it was actually
Like
probably
whereabouts?
a half a
3
mile.
blocks from the not the Palladium, the Middle East.
Middle East. Yep.
Like
it was
literally
literally
3
like
blocks
3
away.
blocks
Yeah.
away.
What's
I
it
don't
called
think it's there
again?
anymore.
The-
Club Bohemia.
Yeah, Club Bohemia.
Yep. That was.
Okay.
It's weird.
We played a show there.
It's fun, I guess.
Yeah. But it was cool because we got to see some familiar faces because our buddy Max, who is a drummer, and he's also on our first EP, A Little Crooked House, because we couldn't find a drummer. He was in a band called Lucius.
I've heard of Lucius.
Yep.
Mhm.
So he was the drummer of Lucius at the time, and I
I booked Lucius.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
we-
That's
World.
yeah. I mean, they've been all over the map. They played with like Power Man 5000 and Ginger. They've been doing it.
That's cool.
But yeah, so I said to Anthony that we should go see Lucius because we haven't seen Max perform yet. And when we did, there was a band that played with him. Was it Firstborn? I think it was Firstborn. If I'm remembering correctly, I can't remember.
I know that band.
think you're
Ven's
right.
in it.
Yeah.
This dude Ven is in that band.
They're
I only knew the
Some
singer.
others?
yeah, we
And then
only
he
knew
switched to
The singer-
Without Warning.
yeah.
But
Oh, I know Without Warning. too.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
so he switched from I think Firstborn to Without Warning.
Mhm.
And we
Interesting.
played our first show with Without Warning, and he remembered us from just meeting when he played with Firstborn.
That's not true at all.
What do you mean?
Our first show was a Ronnie James Dio cover band.
Yeah.
And I think another band from Rhode Island. Bitter Wind. And we booked them the second time. We played
Was
it.
it the
We
second
played.
time?
We played at this venue, and then we had to go back because we couldn't find any other places to play. And then they were supposed to close down, and then they didn't close down, so we went back. And yeah, it was weird. So I got a call from the promoter of that place, and he was like, "Yeah, like you guys are actually gonna go on like in like the middle now. You guys aren't gonna open. You guys are gonna go on the middle." We're like, "All right, sweet." And like we didn't know anything about ticket sales. Obviously, we didn't have to deal with any of that, but we didn't know anything about anything because it was our first show. And then all of a sudden, he calls us. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "So the first band that was supposed to go on." Or who was it? I think Neon Knights was the cover band.
Night.
Yeah, that was the cover band, and they wanted not to go on last. They were like, because most of their crowd was like a little bit older, and they wanted to have them come at like the 9 o'clock hour. So we started playing at like 11 o'clock, and the promoter's like, "So your first show at Club Bohemia is going to be a headline show. Congratulations!" And I was like,
Congratulations.
and
Oh,
wow,
man.
did we
I've
figure
been in
out
similar situations like that, and
it was not a congratulations.
Yeah.
So we learned. It's
you don't
okay.
want to headline
We
your
learned.
first show unless you're issues.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I mean-
a hell of a first show for them.
Yeah, I remember that.
Playing a show for the first time in Boston, and then just hearing like, "Congratulations, you're the first headliner." We were like, "Oh my god!" And
It
then
was-
after that,
Well,
we were
if
like,
anything,
weird.
it just
This is
stakes
a
your
shithole.
name to be able to headline there, I guess. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
it was-
screw
it
it.
was
I mean,
cool.
when you're
And we did
super
the best
green,
that we
too,
could.
like-
Did people come
Yeah.
out for you?
It's just some of our friends.
some of our friends.
It was kind of chill.
It's one of those things where you start your first show, and then it's like, awesome. The only people that are gonna watch you are the other bands and their girlfriends. So I mean, whatever. It was cool, but it's,
what I wanted it to
yeah.
be requires a lot of work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like currently living like the life that I wanted to live, 8 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I don't stop and think about that enough. You know? So at the time, it was almost like a disappointment because I was like, oh, now I feel like just kind of like let down because it wasn't this big like, oh, like nobody's like asking me for my autograph or like whatever. Like I just wanted to like be like a rock star, and quickly found out if you want that, you got to work your fucking
Ass
just not
off,
stop.
bro.
You just
You
can't
gotta work
stop.
that butt off, bro.
You just can't stop.
It's attainable though.
It is.
It
It's
is
very
attainable.
attainable if you work
The
hard.
only
If you
people
work
who
hard.
won't make it are the people
Honestly,
who stop.
Yeah.
Mike,
That's the only thing I knew for sure.
I disagree with that though. I agree with you and I don't.
Let's talk about
I
it.
agree with
Let's
you.
talk about
I
it.
agree with you and I don't.
Mm-hmm.
If you show people that you love what you do, and if you show people that you just want to make music and be there, or not even music, just whatever you want to do, people are going to support you on that because they see that
Friends and family are going to
know.
support you on that.
I think people all around. Whenever I see a band,
That's the unfortunate side of truth, though, is that that's unfortunately not the case because, like, if people who aren't your friends and family, just random people, like they need they need something to latch onto, and that's like that hit single, or seeing you live, you know what I mean?
Right.
And being like, that's a band I want to come see again, you know what I mean? There's like more intangibles to that. Friends and family is your baseline. Like any good sales or marketing strategy, it always starts with your friends and family. They call it the spider web, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But for
it's
bands,
friends.
that's what it is. And your friends and families are always going to support you. So it's a great baseline, you know what I mean? But those aren't your fans. And I say that all the time.
Yeah,
I say that to
we've had this talk a lot,
I'm like,
yeah.
those aren't your fans. Your friends and your family aren't your fans. The fans
And
are
I
the
agree with
wide-eyed
that.
kids that come to your show. And when it happens, and I'm sure it's happened to you at some point yet, when it happens, like, it's amazing. When somebody comes up to you and they're like, I saw your band. Do you sell t-shirts? Like, can I buy something? Like, do you have music? Like, you're like, whoa, like this random person.
Oh, it's
is-
sick.
You know what I mean? So that's...
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling because
I'll tell you, because you were talking about like, having people like ask you like for your autograph and stuff, and like, I remember there was like maybe like 2 or 3 times I think that's happened to us, and it was fucking weird. I would like
It's always so.
they-
I
it is.
suck at
It's always
it. I
weird.
suck
because
at
like
it.
I don't know if you guys are like old school like us or if you just use your brains for your set list, but like we type them up and print them and like
Yeah.
we put the fucking venue that we play at and the date and all that shit on them, and so there were a couple of shows that we played at that people would like
It
grab
was
them
a SAG X show. That was our
and
first one.
they were like ask us to sign them, and I'm like, stop it,
Crazy.
shut the fuck up, no, you don't actually want us to do that. Like, no, seriously, like sign them. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, why not? I'm not gonna tell you no, but like, it's fucking weird.
I mean, hell, just for the show we play Monday, we signed some guy's shark.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
sign the shark?
I haven't
Yeah.
done that. I've signed an alien. I haven't
That's
signed a
cool.
shark.
I've signed. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
all signed an alien. That's pretty cool.
Did you sign the shark on Monday?
He did, yeah. So what happened was, we were done playing, and I'm just exhausted. And this guy, did anyone know who he was? No, just some random guy.
He was
Yeah.
somebody attached to Ashes.
Okay,
think.
with the ashes going.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was like, oh, over here. I'm like, you know me. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, dude, awesome. Sign this. I'm like, it's a playable shark. He got a signature, I think, of every band that played that night.
He did, yeah.
And he was super you could just tell how stoked he was about it. And I was like, you know me, okay. All right, here we go, guys, and stuff like that. So
Yeah, because I handed it to you because I was like, oh, well, we don't know when to shut the fuck up, so sign the mouth.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, here, sign the mouth.
Yeah.
So that's what we did, yeah. 'cause
But
it was,
we've had a few moments like that. That Static show. It was what was it? It was a girl. That's all I remember. Something like that. She was super stoked about it. Like, after seeing our song.
Marissa, and then it was like
That's
a
what it
friend of
was.
hers,
Yes,
too, that
it was.
that
Yeah,
was
because
really
they came
into
up
it,
to us. You have to sign this, and I was like, I literally think, like, what do I do with my hands? Like, I don't know what the hell I was doing.
What
at
do
that
I do
point.
with
what
my
do I do
hands?
with this? Like,
Yeah.
and
And that's what I'm
was-
saying. It's like it like makes you
Yeah.
feel. You almost
It
like makes you
felt
feel
good, yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's just like,
you
I-
don't know how to
it's
interact.
weird.
You're like, fuck. Okay. Like,
What's my name?
It takes you by surprise. You're like, yeah. I remember. I think the big one for us signing things was in New York. I think it was the alien. Like,
That was cool.
our bassist is so good at just like reading people, and every time I look at him, he's just over there, and he's always so nice. You know what I mean? And he's always like, "Do you want me to sign that for you?" And everybody's like, yeah. And then he's like, "Okay," and he writes like a little note, and he's like, "So good to meet you. What's your name?" And then he'll just write it and be like, "Okay," and then he'll sign it.
That's amazing.
He's-
I don't know how to do that.
Chris is such a sweetheart. Like, I've talked to so many of our fans, and they've always most of them that I've talked to have always said, just to let you guys know, what made me become a fan was your bassist. Like, he's just the nicest, happiest person.
That's
I've
usually
ever
why
met.
people don't like us.
Tracked.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That bassist, bro? Dude. God, if they got rid of him, I'd actually listen to them.
So
God.
we were having a convo about making it, right?
Yeah.
And you were saying, but maybe we're talking about different things. I think maybe you're just saying that some people just make music just for the love of it. You're saying?
No, I think so. The way that I think about, well, yes,
Kind of sound like what you were saying.
yeah, but it's kind of strange because I go back
There's
to
nothing
bands,
wrong with that at all.
No, but
Yeah.
I go back to bands like Lamb of God.
Got it.
They didn't try at all. You know, like, they just wanted to make music, make good music, and go perform. They did not have any any like drive to like get signed, go on tour. They just wanted to make heavy music and go out and play it. And they happened to be at the right place.
Some of
at the
my
right
favorite
time.
bands did it that way.
And-
Some of my favorite bands.
Yeah, I mean,
Unfortunately,
that's just what happens,
2025.
Yeah, no, I mean,
when Atlanta got start, you know
it's
what I mean?
also-
It was
it's
an easier
also-
time to do that.
Yeah.
I wish, honestly, I wish I was making movies, making music in the Beatles era, where I could just make anything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
Well,
I
dude,
mean? Like, it's like, or like Elvis, like
Big
shit
time,
blows
yeah.
up and people losing his mind.
oh
like,
yeah,
I
It's
say all the
crazy to
time.
me.
Like, so
You
my
have to
dad,
stand out these days, unfortunately.
You
my
do.
dad was an '80s
Well,
guy,
yeah.
and so similar to the Boston story,
Mhm.
my dad was the original drummer of Extreme.
Sick.
And he had a similar issue where, it wasn't as serious as the car accident. He just wasn't old enough to play the bars that they were playing in, so they wound up
Damn, that's
replacing
awesome.
him.
Wow.
So he was there while they were writing that first record. So very similar
Yeah.
situation.
Yep.
But he grew up in that era of, you put up a flyer and around town, and people just showed up. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter what genre you were playing. There's like, oh, there's a show. Let's just go. Like,
Right.
that was just what you did then, because that was what you did then.
Yeah.
And I wish that we were in a time like
That's
that.
the life I wanted to live, getting into music.
Yes,
You know
that's
what
what
I
Right.
that's.
I
Yeah,
wanted
same.
to
But
make
to play
music.
devil's advocate, like what Mike said, where he's like, I wish that you could just, Beatles time or Elvis time, just go out and play. But if you think about it, when Elvis came out, when the Beatles came out, nobody heard that sound before. It
Right.
was different. It was new. It was just the music, It
was so simple, though.
It was
Yeah.
simple, but
Like-
not
It really
at that
was.
time. It was so
It's not
different.
them anymore.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, the Beatles are known for like creating like the power chord. You know what I mean? Like they are the band. Nobody heard anything like that before. So they did do something different. It's just, I feel like it had to do with the music. They didn't have like a gimmick. They didn't have a, makeup or whatever else. It just had to do with the music. But they didn't go out and say...
I mean, they did have the dreads.
They did, yeah. But they didn't say to themselves...
That was kind of iconic.
Yeah, I would
It
say
still
so.
is kind
Yeah.
of iconic. That
The,
he's got
the dreads are
and the-
full-blown
yeah.
iconic. But, yeah, I mean, at that time, I
No,
don't think they were
made
saying...
at the end of the day, they made incredible music. Lamb
Yeah.
of God, they made incredible music, and
Yeah.
they can't be ignored. You know
No,
what I mean?
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
But yeah, it's
But I do get you kind of what your point is, though, because I in a way I feel the same. I'm kind of stuck in the boat where it's like I agree with that, where it's like, if you're sitting there and you're putting your heart and your soul into what it is that you're doing, like eventually people will resonate with that, and that'll hopefully sell itself.
Absolutely.
But at the same time,
digital age.
that's kind of where
That's
the
another
digital
thing that
age kicks
differs
in.
between this time and that time. Like at the time of the Beatles, you go play. Nobody really played a lot of shows. I'd say. I don't know what the situation was, but
They
when they
toured
threw
a lot,
concert,
They did.
You know
but
what
they
I mean?
toured a
Like-
lot, but there was no. It was all just general like TV advertisements
like
and things like.
I
and
remember a
record
time
sales.
in
It's-
2002 when I could go play a show and like bands that are famous now were playing shows in Providence and were little and like they just made it. You know what I mean? Like started playing in the living room one day and fucking all of a sudden like I've seen that happen.
I was talking about
I just seen it less now. You know what I mean? It's that's a sad thing.
The digital age ruined it.
Yeah.
What was supposed to help it the most, I think.
Yeah, because now everybody has so much access to their fingertips to so many bands. It's like you can't all get famous. You know what I mean?
They do.
Exactly.
But I also feel like at the same time, we live in a generation where, and I'm not saying it just because of like, but because of TikTok and Instagram, and everybody just has a short attention span right now.
Yeah,
and
100%.
everybody wants to see
100%.
15 seconds of something, and then they move on.
Yep.
And
you got to be able to hold somebody's attention.
Yeah.
That's crazy these days.
Everything is
gotta
almost
be
like
able to
American
hold-
Idol.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like give me your best 15-second chorus.
Right.
Oh, you only have 10 seconds? Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like that's kind of where it's at right now, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
And, since that's the case, people hear it and then they're like, this is fire. And then they're on it, and then the next band comes in, and then they're like, this is fire. And then they start listening to that. The band that they were listening to gets left behind because it had to do with a trend. It had to do with, they don't love the music. They love that they saw some person dancing to one part of a chorus and was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then that's what hooks them on it.
And then you unfortunately get stuck with I don't know if you remember, I think it was like a year or two ago, the whole I Prevail and Pierce the Veil situation.
Oh, yeah.
Where, they were selling, I Prevail was like selling out this headlining tour that they were doing with Pierce the Veil.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like all amped about it. And people were literally just buying the ticket to hear 10 seconds of this Pierce the Veil song that was doing well on TikTok at the time.
Right.
And then they would leave after they played that song. I don't remember what song it was, but they would leave after that song was on, and then I Prevail would come out to basically an empty room. Like because all of the ticket sales were basically from that. So like I Prevail had like a whole shitty tour, and the people that actually wanted to go to either see I Prevail or the real Pierce the Veil fans couldn't get tickets. It was a whole fucking thing.
It was huge. I remember it.
And that's what you get stuck with when you get stuck in that like 10 to 15 second era.
That is disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Yeah, it was a huge
it's
issue.
Not right.
It's why it's like bands have questions like I want to get famous and do the thing like you're saying, and it's like, yo, like that's a lot of work. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of I'd say it's a lot of consistency. And honestly, I say like you guys, I obviously work with you guys, right? So like basically, you guys seem like you have 5 members, right?
We have 4.
4 members. Okay. I'm thinking about myself. I'm a member.
It's all dumb.
But you have 4 members that all give a shit. And all like Mighty Falls kind of the same way, but
kind of the same way.
You have 5,
just a little
people.
bit,
Like, you don't have a member. I don't know if you do or not, but you don't seem to have a member that's just like fuck this. You guys do all this shit. Like you know what I mean?
That's
that is important for success too, because everybody's got to be working. Everybody's got to be providing something to the whole, and you got to be consistent. And you got to be consistent, man. You got to post every day. You do.
Music is an emotion. You know what I mean? It's something that you feel. It's something that resonates with you. It's something that is, just for people that write it, just a part of you. And,
it's the best form of expression there is.
Right. And
100%.
You just make it to find people that feel the same way that you do. And it's impossible to do that these days because just the younger generation just cares about what's hot, what's going on, what's trending, what's popular, because they just want to be popular.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I it's unfortunately true, but I would have to agree. I think, and it sucks because you have the people like us that didn't grow up that way.
Yep.
We a lot. Chances are, most if not all of us were probably outcasts.
Oh yeah.
That. Yep. Did the exact opposite. So it's like, in a sense, it's like we don't know how to be the popular kids.
We had Slipknot vests on, getting slammed into lockers, and our books being slammed down.
I had horrible long hair and skinny jeans
and
an Avenged Sevenfold t-shirt on. Man,
yeah.
I didn't have a lot of friends in high school.
I was the opposite. I wore oversized clothes and fucking.
That's where shows come in handy though, because it's literally the number one place I've seen awkward kids come together.
100%.
And like,
But at the
honestly,
same time-
that's where you get your fans too. That's
Right.
what I'm trying to say. That's why I try to tell everybody, like, when you're at a show, don't be that band that shows up, plays their set, doesn't talk to anybody, leaves after their set, that kind of stuff. Go and meet everybody that came to the show, whether they saw your band or not. Sometimes it's the dude that unfortunately stood outside and smoked a cigarette that you talked to after the show and
That's
give
right.
your music to that ends up being your fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't know where you're going to get your fans from, but you have to engage with crowds and get people to come back. You guys are the ones that get the people to come back. You're making the music. You're making the music that they want to come back to, and you guys got to be the ones that they meet and like, because part of this fan thing is liking the band members.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
if the band members are pieces of shit, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how
That's why
good
no
they
one
are.
likes
definitely
us.
But that's
Me.
another
No,
thing
I'm
as
kidding.
well.
I
Like,
usually think it's him.
there are. I feel like the people that definitely go are fans of like the local scene. But people that aren't really into the local scene but like metal aren't going to shows nowadays unless it's like a big band, because the only back in the day before we had TikTok, cell phones, whatever else, for you to be able to check out new music, you had to go see these motherfuckers live.
Yeah.
That was the only way to get it. And you had to sit through a set and you had to listen, and if you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, you didn't. And nowadays, that's not the case, you know? They get 15 seconds of a studio recording, and if they don't like it, they fuck off.
Well, it's the same thing like with a record. So
Yep.
back then, what I learned was you have to listen to the whole. You couldn't skip anything.
Correct.
Especially on a cassette. So usually, if you want to try to find the single that you want to listen to, chances are it's usually mixed somewhere in the middle somewhere.
You go to
So-
FYE, you'd scan the CD.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
right. That's
right.
Yes.
Wait,
Scan the CD, yeah.
There was a time as well,
Oh,
not
I
too
bet
long
you would.
ago. I feel like it was yesterday, but you guys are gonna probably tell me this was like 20 years ago. But like local bands I knew were at Strawberries in the CDs. Like there was,
Yeah,
there
I
was
remember. I
local
remember Scared
bands.
of Fear
Oh, yeah.
being in
Yeah.
there and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
sick.
like
I think A Code was in there at one point too.
It was. I feel like it was like within the last 10 years that was still happening.
No,
Like,
unfortunately not. I don't think.
But the point
Unfortunately not.
is you had to listen to all the other songs before you get to the one they want to hear. And chances are, hopefully, is like, oh shit, that was a really cool, song that wasn't a single that they didn't hear before. And like,
Right.
wow, that's interesting. And then that's the rabbit hole for me. So I've always learned when I listen to music is listen to the full record.
Yeah.
And there's
That's right.
a reason why to it.
That's why you put your main
That's why
single in the back half
bands
of the
now
album.
are releasing singles, because unfortunately, with the digital age,
Yeah.
you're not getting what you said.
That's why
so
we're
you
doing
have
it,
to you have to release one song. Oh my god, this is my old.
I love how in the
Oh,
video we're
we-
just gonna see.
We're getting we're getting a cameo from. We're getting a
me.
cameo from our old
That's
guy
me.
here.
Hey, look
That's
at that! This is Mike.
That's me.
Look at that party face.
I was in this band once. I have all the T-shirts
Oh,
still.
man.
Yeah, I was. It was like not too long ago.
That's crazy.
Ironically,
Look at
are
him.
you doing a Lamb of God cover too?
I have a star
No,
crush.
it's
I have a new
our
star
own
crush.
song, "Laid to Rest." I didn't even know.
Oh.
I'm not a Lamb of God fan. I saw him once with Slipknot,
I
and I
love
was
Lamb
so
of God.
excited for Slipknot that I was just like, "What is this Lamb of God?" And I've never really liked him since. And that's probably makes me stupid.
That's crazy.
But it's
Yeah,
okay.
I'll have to-
And basically, I didn't even know that they had a song called "Laid to Rest," and
Yeah.
I made this song called "Laid to Rest" by New
That's
Idol.
sick.
And it's sick. But what I was saying was the singles, like you have to, unfortunately, that's why all these bands, Bill Murray, Beartooth, they're doing single drops.
Yeah.
Falling in reverse.
Falling in reverse, Coheed and Cambria.
Set it
they
off,
all
too.
do it.
Atreyu did it
it's
really
just-
well.
That's how you get the attention. And then if you can drop 3 or 4 singles that really make them say, "I need more," they're going to check out those other songs when they come out. And that's the game
Yeah,
now.
I'm.
That was the Atreyu move.
But
Yeah.
before the crowd comes, I'm not against singles. Like, don't get me words canceled.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
against
no.
it.
Listen,
But it's
singles.
just- yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah.
if you're going
I just
if
wanna
you're
make sure,
going on
okay.
Spotify and if you're listening to singles, you're supporting bands that the way that you're supposed to be, and props to that. I was just gonna say, leading into it though, like I'm 26, but I'm an old soul.
26 is a good year.
Yeah,
13 years ago for me.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
Sick. Keep going. So I
You look great
remember.
for 26.
Oh, thanks. So
You're supposed to say I look good for 39.
I don't know how old you are. What am I supposed to say? You look
I
good
said I'm
for
13 years older than you.
Yeah, I can't do math like
Well,
that.
damn.
Do I look smart? I'm in a band.
True.
So-
I'm also in a band, so was that
You're like,
I'll just sit here quietly in finance.
But yeah, when I was a freshman, like I was huge into classic rock, and I remember my teacher giving me like a huge stack of records.
Hey, whoever
And-
isn't into classic rock can go to hell.
Fuck 'em.
But go ahead.
But he
Shout out to
I
that
remember
road case because I have it
He
now.
gave me.
You do?
I do.
He
Wow.
literally gave me all of the old
Wow.
Kiss vinyls, Aerosmith, Billy Joel's Glass Houses. He
So
gave me
coolest
that.
teacher on the planet.
Yeah,
Got
he
it.
was sick. And when I started getting into metal, I wanted to listen to Slipknot, and I was like, fuck this. I'm going to buy the first record on vinyl, and I'm going to listen to it front to back. And that's exactly what I fucking did.
Hell yeah.
And then
Hell yeah.
I went to go see them, dude, and my fucking life changed, dude.
As it
And
should have.
I
As
was
it
just
should've.
talking about this with one of our...
Did you get to
one
see
of our-
Joey Jordison?
I did not. I got to
did.
see...
Oh, I got to see him play Upside Down. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw that
fucking
too.
awesome, dude. I would have loved to have seen him.
He was in
live.
like a fucking. It was.
Yeah, he had the pentagram. It,
It
would like
was-
yeah.
flip.
It was
For
different.
people that don't know,
I'm
when
pretty
Joey
sure-
Jordison was in Slipknot, he
was
used to do
strapped
like
in.
he used to do kind of like what Tommy Lee used to do, where he would like flip the whole drum set on like
I think
a
there was
machine.
two versions of this because I'm pretty sure I saw him do it twice. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he
sure
used
one
to, like,
time he was
flip
in
up and it would
he was in
rotate.
like a circle,
Right.
and one time he was just in like a stage he was strapped into.
Mhm.
Like I feel like there was
Yeah.
two different
Yeah,
ones
it
I
was-
saw because I
he-
saw him. I think they did it 2 times at like Ozfest or
Yes.
something like that.
If people want to see this action, because I'm a Gigunga Slipknot fan.
Oh, same.
If
Fantastic
people
work,
want to
thank you.
see this video,
Added to the dictionary.
That's
you
like
can
one of the
go on
holy
YouTube
bands,
and you can look
in my
up
opinion.
Slipknot Disaster Pieces, and it's a
Ooh, good one.
DVD of
That's
their
that's
whole
Volume
their-
3 era, or is that Iowa
No,
era?
that's Iowa
Yeah.
era, their best era. But they have a part in the set where Joey Jordison has his drum solo, and he has the machine that goes up and it flips him upside down, and
Oh, hell
you
yeah.
guys can see it. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing for me. I just love music, and it's just a shame of like it's not what it used to be, man. It's
not.
really not.
It's a different animal. It takes a different approach these days. It really
really
does.
is.
It honestly sucks.
You can't just be a musician anymore.
No.
Unfortunately.
No, you
that's what
can't.
it is.
Because if you're not on Spotify, then you're not a real musician.
Of
And-
course
and
you're
that's-
not. I mean,
that's what I hate, you
but
know,
of
like-
course you're not. But really, no. But really,
No, it's true
no.
though. It
Like,
is. Yeah.
What do you do? What do you listen to music on?
Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
no,
that you can
it's
do.
like
I still have a
everybody,
CD
dude.
player in my car,
Well,
and I still jam CDs. But
It's like we're all
yeah.
doing it.
One thing that I love more than anything is that, like, I feel like with metal, for you to get anywhere, you need a gimmick, and I fucking
Necrogoblicon was right.
hate that, dude. I hate that. But one thing that I've been really getting into lately, because I'm into all types of music, I've been really getting into like country bluegrass stuff.
Interesting.
Absolutely love it. And one thing that I've really loved about getting into that genre is that those guys get up there and they fucking go. There is no gimmick. There is no like makeup or fire or whatever else. You go to see them play, and you go see them play to the best of their ability, and you go and you listen to that music. Man.
Yeah, just dudes being
It's
dudes.
fantastic. I went to Nashville probably a couple months ago, and
Amazing city.
dude, it was phenomenal. And
Is it Broad Street or Broadway? Or
Broadway.
what?
Broadway?
Oh,
but
man.
it was crazy, man.
The
like
vibes
they were,
on that street are out real.
they
It's
were
so sick, dude.
Yeah, they were like, I was in a club out, like I would be in Kid Rock's bar, and I went up to the 4th floor, and there were some guys in there playing Blink 182. I'm a huge Blink
I
182
saw the same
fan.
thing when I was there,
Yeah,
dude. It was nuts.
went
It was
down
so
to
good.
the 1st floor. There was some guy playing "Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue" by Toby
They're right
Keith.
in the middle. There's a nice little kitchen with some friggin' nice eats.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I remember,
Yeah.
I went right in the middle. There was like this nice little diner style. I don't know. It
Yeah.
was.
I remember.
Those guys though are fucking musicians, man.
Oh, it's crazy,
They
dude.
switch bandmates every single day. They
Yeah.
don't have one solid band.
No.
They go and they like text each other that day, and they're like, "Hey, we have a show at Bon Jovi's bar. You want to come and play?" And they're like, "Fuck yeah!" And that's the band for the day.
And they have they literally just have a book of songs that they can pick from, and they all know them. And then they're just like, "Hey, pick a song," and they're like, "Hey, play this one." They're like, "Okay," and then that's it. I remember I went in July before my second daughter was born.
They're probably making bank too.
Oh yeah, they
dude.
are. They
Fuck
all have a code there. Like this is rule number 1. None of them play Freebird at all.
Nope, they don't.
But if you do want to hear Freebird, you need to tip the band $100 and they'll play Freebird. You can if you don't tip $100, you ain't hearing Freebird.
It's amazing.
It's a phenomenal place though, and
I think that's a good rule.
those people are like at the top of their game. For any metalheads that just love music in general, I strongly suggest taking a trip to Nashville because
Everybody should go to
you can-
Nashville once in their life.
they really should.
I can
And-
second that because I did as a person who's primarily like a punk and like metal guy. My wife is she's a country person at heart. She likes punk and metal too, but primarily a country person. And she was like, "I'm telling you, it's gonna be fine. Like you're gonna enjoy it anyway. Like you don't have to be a country person to enjoy it." I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, fine, let's go. And I want to just go see the city, right? And sure as shit, like you get down there and it's like, oh, this is the coolest shit ever, dude.
It's so awesome.
I remember walking. So like one of the nights that we were there, like we always like to check out Hard Rock cafes. It's just one of the things we do.
Yep.
So we went to the Hard Rock one night when we were down there. And we walk out, and then they have that bar right across the street that had the double decker, but it had like all the open windows.
Yep.
Oh, what the hell was it called?
You can see it, yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but like that's where like it was a group of young guys. They were playing Blink.
Yeah, dude.
So we sat out there and we were watching them for a little while. Like the next song they played was like "Wagon Wheel" by Darius Rucker.
yeah.
And it's like, dude, these
Awesome.
kids are incredible.
Yep.
That they're just able to jump from genre to genre like that and nail it too. Like they're not.
Oh yeah.
They don't waver at all. Like there's no like, that could have been a little bit. No, like they're perfect.
Top game.
Yeah.
And that's the cool part about Nashville is that you can always find something that you're gonna love. Like you can go into one bar and they're playing country, and then like we went down this little alleyway and there was like an R&B band that I fell in love with.
Did you find the Sinatra bar?
I did.
Did you go?
I did.
It was amazing.
It's phenomenal, man.
Did you get the?
I saw it.
Did you get the Jack?
I did not. No.
It was so good.
Was it really?
It was so good. I
Was
didn't
it?
get the really expensive one. I got the one underneath it that was like $60 a glass or something, whatever
Yeah.
it was. Because it was, it was made for Frank, so I had
I
to
was
get it.
glad I
Yeah.
didn't drink.
So
But it was so good.
I think my favorite night that I went was I actually went with Anthony's dad because it's kind of a long story, but Anthony is my brother-in-law.
Did Anthony go? Oh.
Anthony
No,
did
I
not
didn't
go.
go.
Oh.
But
Wait, he's your
Him and my dad
brother-in-law?
went
So
for-
are you
yeah.
married to his sister
Yeah.
or something? Or,
Yeah.
what,
yeah,
you're married
Anthony's
to his
married
sister.
to my sister.
So
Me and
it's all
Anthony
in the
go back
family,
to
baby.
like
All-
sixth
yeah, yeah.
grade.
You
Yeah,
just left
we're
that
family,
out
man.
of things.
Oh,
This is
YouTube heard
an
me. They
important
put
part
Pierce
of
the Veil
story
on.
here.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Pierce the Veil made it. They heard me.
Mohair, imagine living.
Gotta hate this band.
Yeah.
Why do
But
you hate Pierce's Veil?
I have never liked Pierce the Veil. I don't like them. I don't like Sleeping with Sirens. I don't like any
it's
of
not
that
that I
shit.
don't
I don't
like.
like
it,
I don't
it's
like
not my
Sirens
thing.
either?
Absolutely
They,
not.
like
If you can't hang, baby,
Absolutely not.
here's the door, baby.
yeah, see, like that stuff can't like it's not
Here's
that
the
they're
trash can,
bad.
see
I
yourself
think that
out.
they're an amazing band.
Kellen
I've seen them
Quinn
live. I
makes
saw
me
them live
feel
with Blink
things.
182, and I thought that
acoustic
they
stuff?
sounded amazing. But that they're, I don't know. I just never really got into the band other than their hits.
Yeah, they were good.
But-
They're not a bad live band.
No,
I
they're
saw
great.
Pierce the Veil at Warped Tour. They're not a
Yeah.
bad live band, but the music I just can't.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
really
not.
care for it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But
So you're not very emo then.
Um,
I thought you were emo.
no,
'Cause that's emo.
I can't-
And they wrote some of the most emo, enjoyable songs
hang
that
on,
I've ever
hang
heard.
on, time out.
You're shaking your head. Yes, I feel like you might like them.
I agree. No,
Share.
they're
Share.
okay. I
No,
mean,
I-
it's-
oh, well,
but
okay,
they're
they're
definitely
okay,
emo.
okay.
They're definitely emo, is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
yeah, okay.
I think
He's
there's
at least
different
agreeing
steps of
with,
emo.
like-
Yeah,
because
'cause
you could
that's-
probably
it's
agree
very
with me where
enjoyable.
you're not
Like,
a big fan of Pierce the Veil, but you probably love The Cure.
No,
Really?
I don't.
I love The Cure.
As
The
far
Cure
as
is
I
just
was
kind of
more
a
like
special band. It's not
Yeah.
a band that I love or hate. They're just kind of in their own special little. There's
Their
a
first album, I
time
love
and
it.
place to bring out The Cure in my life.
I'm in the classic.
It's
I'm in
like-
like that 2005 like era where it's like you're My Chem, you're Panic at the Disco, you're Fall Out
Yes,
Boy. Like
yeah.
I'm in that era
Yeah.
of things. So that was when I really got into everything.
Fall Out Boy sick.
The,
dude.
Green
OG
Day,
Fall Out
like all
Boy,
that stuff.
Green Day.
Like that was my era. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like
So-
Pierce the Veil was like the pioneers of like the hair that goes over the one.
I think
eye.
they were all doing it.
No,
kind
that's
of
Bless the Fall, my boy.
Yeah, Bless the Fall
Yeah,
is.
but
is
Pierce
Bless
the
the
Veil
Fall,
as
my
well.
boy. Yeah.
But Pierce the
Bring
Veil.
me the
Escape the Fate, too.
Horizon.
Escape the Fate.
Escape the Fate.
That's all
I'm
them.
saying
Yeah.
those kids that were those kids were listening to Pierce the Veil.
You know what's
Telling
crazy
you.
about I always stick by this. Pierce the Veil, and this is why it's kind of hard for me to listen to metalcore now too. Is you have Pierce the I call them the gods of metalcore. Pierce the Veil, Bring Me the Horizon, Motionless in White. Why I call them like the kings is because Bring Me the Horizon does something. Pierce the Veil or Motionless, people are gonna copy them straight down, and it's just from what I've experienced because
I agree.
when Motionless
But I wouldn't consider Pierce the Veil metalcore.
at all.
No,
At all?
I don't know if I would either. Bring Me in Motionless, yeah.
And
I
it
would,
has to do with the riffs and the amount of singing. And listen,
Maybe.
I'm
I
a
would
singer.
probably replace
I'm
them
not.
with Ice Nine, to be
I
honest.
hate screaming. Everybody loves that I scream and they want me to scream, but I don't even like it. Okay, I don't even like my own scream.
He's got the
They're
Danny
like, oh, you have this
Warstop
really
concept.
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, you have this really interesting scream, and I'm like, cool, because I hate it, so I'm glad you like it.
Yeah,
you know what I
cool.
mean?
You want to
But
talk
like,
about pioneers
but
of the emo
I
flip,
love
bro.
to
Ask
sing.
him.
I took 3 combined years of singing lessons with a teacher. Like, I love to sing, and when Pierce the Veil came out, those were really fun songs to sing. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
but I wouldn't call it metalcore though. I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't
like,
either.
Kill
I-
Switch Engage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
Metal
now you're
Switch,
talking a
you know
different
what I
era,
mean?
though.
Yeah,
That's a different because now you're talking like them,
Is that
all
more-
that
but is
remains,
that- is
August
that-
Burns Red.
is
Like
that
that's
more?
different.
And even the screams that Pierce the Veil had were more like hardcore screams.
Right.
So maybe it's
But-
more post-hardcore.
I would say they're more the screamo era, though.
Okay,
Screamo.
hang
I'm
on.
down with Screamo.
Let me
I'm
say
down with
this.
Screamo.
I would actually say this.
Screamo
I would
fits.
I would say that they're a mix of metalcore and pop punk, like A Day to Remember is.
So
Like-
easy core.
Yeah. That sounds.
Yeah, but Day to
That's-
Remember has a way different feel than Pierce the Veil.
No,
The
they do.
comparison
They do,
bothers
but-
me a little bit.
But that's the thing. Like,
It's like the
I would-
hometown
I would
Oh,
boys
they're
hope-
just
kinda-
making themselves known.
I
right
would
now.
hope that as well, just
What,
because
Pierce the Veil again.
I
Pierce the Veil.
again that kind of goes.
They just
to
know we're
one of
talking
those
shit.
For some
things-
reason, every time I play a soft touch mechanism song, Pierce the Veil song comes on. Very,
Yeah,
right at
They
the
just
end.
know
we
we're
don't
talking
even
a bunch of
sound the
shit.
same.
Shit.
But what was I gonna say? I do like that they are two completely different bands, but you can put them under the same genre. It's
You can.
kind of like with, and I always go back to nu metal with this because if you listen to Slipknot or Disturbed or Korn or Limp Bizkit, they're all under the same genre. System of a Down too. They all
See,
fucking
Linkin
sound
Park.
different.
See, that's the
they
thing.
all sound
is
different.
When I was younger, nu metal was like Sepultura and Soulfly. That was nu metal.
Yeah, but they
but
all
there's-
still count too.
and now
though.
everybody's
Yeah.
like, oh, blah, blah, and you're right.
yeah.
But it's weird to me because nu metal had such a, it seems a long like net. You know
It
what
did.
I
It was
mean?
definitely the
was.
longest
because
one.
I saw it
And it
start.
was the biggest,
I saw it
too.
start with the Sepultura, Soulfly, all that
Yeah.
kind of. There was the djembes and bongos, but they were
Yeah.
singing, they were screaming, you
Cold
know,
Chamber.
whatever. It was
Cold
like,
Chamber was sick, dude.
Cold Chamber.
Mudvayne.
Yeah.
Mudvayne was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and that's the end of that. I feel like that's where it started to go into metalcore. Mudvayne became a more of a that the Black album, I call it the Mudvayne Black album.
Right.
It's got like the black on black, right? And it's got
I'm not super familiar
that was
with
a
Mudvayne.
metalcore album
Mhm.
all day long. But I wouldn't say their
Lost and
first
Found.
album was,
Found.
you know. So
No,
maybe-
Mudvayne is a new metal band. All
Maybe
day
the-
long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
LD50.
they're
LD50
incredible.
is a sure it's a new metal
They're-
album, but
I
I don't
love
think that
Mudvayne's
Black
first
album
album.
that Black album is a metalcore, you know, album, and so is like some of Slipknot's later albums are metalcore for sure.
But see, like you say
Yeah.
metalcore, like my brain again, it's all based on the times because I go to that Kill Switch, All That Remains,
the
August
music
Burns Red,
evolved.
like
That's what I'm saying. A lot of
that's-
new
that's
metal
like the
bands
era I go
halfway
to.
through their
I
career
think-
start
But
playing
even-
metalcore, and they
but
didn't
even-
even probably realize it.
I think
but even Avenged and
Slipknot's-
Bullet too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
Sure.
the same.
Yeah. Well,
obviously,
Avenged and Bullet,
Avenged early
Avenged.
days.
I never considered Avenged
Up to
new
Wake of the
metal
Fallen.
ever. I never in my life, and I've been an Avenged fan for a long time since Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, like
Yeah.
all the old stuff, and I never have said they're new metal in my life. They've
No, not
always
new
been
metal,
a
metalcore.
Yeah, they've always been a metalcore.
Yeah,
band.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I thought
Yeah,
you were
metalcore.
saying they were new metal.
No,
I'm
get-
putting
come
my
on.
foot down because
Yeah.
they are definitely
No.
metalcore.
No,
yeah.
no, metalcore,
and
babe.
same with the other one you wrote, Bullet.
Bullet.
They were the pioneers of 100%.
Yeah,
I
metalcore.
think so too. I think
I love Bullet. I don't care who.
yeah.
Oh, I love him to death, dude.
Yeah,
Enjoyable music
Bullet's
to
sick.
listen to, man. That's it.
Matt Tuck's hat is one of my prized possessions.
I think what happened was you had Bullet, but a lot of the kids that were listening to them at the time were very emo, so they kind of just brought their emo roots in. With
It was a mesh because
Yeah.
that was kind of like where. So I remember for me, like I was into the Green Day, the Fall Out Boy, like the Panic, like that was like my like kind of transition from being like the rap kid, right? Like that was my transition, and then I remember the first records that I ever got for like heavier bands. It was like As I Lay Dying, An Ocean Between Us, Alisana's Frail Wings, Vanna Curses.
Yep.
Number 12 Looks Like You. I can't remember the name of the record, and something else. And then from there, like I remember hearing like The Poison and Waking the Fallen and like all that stuff. So like it was all very melded together.
big time.
And then that's where like Devil Wears Prada kicked in and like all that kind of
Right.
stuff too. Attack.
Attack,
Yeah,
Attack.
and I just thought of that too because I,
Under
I think
Oath.
Bill Murray's on
Under
it.
Oath.
Yeah.
Under Oath.
Yep, Under Oath. Yep,
I
absolutely.
never really got into Under Oath.
Oh my.
Something about their sound, man. I
slightly
don't know what it
passed
was.
over them.
Oh
I don't know what
my.
it was about their sound.
That's
I
an
just couldn't
important
get into
band to
it.
me for sure. Under Oath. That was a band that changed everything. It was like when Under Oath was around right before Devil Wears Prada, if not the same
time.
period.
Yeah.
And
time.
I think I basically started listening to Under Oath and then to Devil Wears Prada like right after the other. And those two bands changed me as a vocalist, as somebody who wanted to sing music and whatever, you know what I mean? But I always viewed myself as just the singer. I always pictured I have a screamer with me. I
Right.
never thought that I would be the guy doing both. Ever.
I never thought that I'd be the guy doing both either, but I
Yeah.
thought that I was going to be the
it's fun,
screamer
right?
more than
It's fun.
anything.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is a lot of fun, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just I picked my craft. When we originally first started Soft
Oh,
Touch.
Bill Murray.
we-
Sorry, but we're
we
keeping
had-
Bill Murray in the
yeah.
background.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
Yeah, the
Thank you.
We actually had two vocalists. We had someone that was gonna sing and then I was gonna scream.
No,
It
we
really
tried
doesn't.
tried the
We
Linkin
tried.
Park thing. It didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, it didn't
Only
work out.
Linkin Park can be Linkin Park
Exactly.
or Paper
Yep.
Cut.
You stop it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Who's Paper Cut? No, I'm just
Can,
kidding.
can I reel it back and just say basically we pretty much covered the band and how it was
Formed, yeah.
how it was
Yeah.
formed and how you came up with the name and all
Yeah.
that good stuff. So that's great. We talked about your first show,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Why don't you just quickly, like, we don't have a lot of time here, so
Yeah.
let's just really quickly just let me know, like, after that first show, how's it been? You know what I mean? And where are you now? And what do you have coming out?
So I'm gonna segue.
Yes,
I'm gonna segue because it was hard, and we spent 4 years learning what we needed to know to do what we're doing now. And it started in my mind when Matt and Chris joined, because
Agreed.
that's what it was. Is we had now 4
Which
people.
I did say that we would do another episode with these guys, and then Matt and
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
are going to come on the other half of the band, so we can
Right.
do a 2-parter or whatever the case may be. You know,
The point is, there's a job for everybody. You know what I mean? There's enough
Mhm.
to go around. Like it's not like one person is like the leader of the band. It's like this person does this person does that. Like I do like most of the Instagram stuff. Lately I've done all the video editing for everything except for the music videos, because Chris is capable of filming and editing all the music videos. Chris is like 10 years older than me, and he's played in he played in Kardashev.
how old is Chris?
36?
Yeah.
Now I noticed Chris doesn't have Facebook.
Chris doesn't have
No,
Facebook
Chris is
or
established. He does
Instagram.
music for fun.
He talked in the
Yep.
chat with us, but there's no picture,
Nope.
I don't know what it is.
and I'm like, what is?
So
He got it because we always use Messenger to chat.
Okay.
So when he joined the band, he was like,
That's
"Oh,
what
I'll
he
make a
would-
Facebook."
He's a good sport. He
He's the
doesn't
man.
seem
Yeah.
that I met him. He's a very smart guy. I can
he's
already
the-
tell he's a very
super.
smart guy.
He's
I think he was reading Charles Dickinson. when I saw him.
Yeah. Yep.
So like, very knowledgeable, cool, good, great conversation, witty conversation. I mean, probably too smart for Facebook, because Facebook
Yeah.
is kind of a dumb app. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And
Dude, yours
smart
is
people
Wario.
wouldn't be
He's-
on it. You know what I
he's-
mean?
That's
So-
incredible.
he's
Yeah.
great. I mean, that man just, he paints for a living. He's a painter, and
Full-time job.
full-time job.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he makes music with us, and
Wow.
that's what he
He's
does. He
just
loves
like
it.
He's a real
definition
artist.
of an artist.
Yeah, he's
Exactly.
a real fucking
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah,
man.
he is. And
Shout out him.
Yeah.
Does he
We
have,
have a
does he have
bit.
a page for his art or anything?
yeah,
or-
you guys can go to ChristopherPeter.com and check out all of his art.
Wow.
My favorite one that he's done is I'm a huge comic book junkie,
yeah.
and he made this like art piece.
This is
He
crazy.
does like canvases of like
Yeah.
shadows of people. I don't really know how to like explain it. It's just
Shadow
like a canvas
people,
of
we'll
like
call it, yeah.
shadowy people. But inside, he did like a bunch of comic strips of Superman and a bunch of other different
Wow.
comic characters, and it's phenomenal. I love it.
Sounds phenomenal.
But yeah, he's super talented, and he was actually in a signed band before he joined us. He was in what Anthony said.
Yeah,
Kardashev.
Kardashev. and
Kardashev.
then- I don't remember
What
the
is
other
it?
one.
Kardashev.
They're from Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
They've
they're
kinda
signed
been popping
under
off, yeah.
Nuclear Blast, I think.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he's been in the game before. He knows his way around, but
It was cool because Chris being around as long as he has, and Matt being such like a fucking amazing musician that he is.
really is.
We're like, why do both of these people want to work with us?
Mhm.
Yep.
You know what I mean, like, what is it about this? But like, whatever it is, like, fuck it. I'm not gonna read too much into it. Like, just try your fucking hardest.
Yeah.
And Chris plays
Bass.
bass.
Yeah. And
Matt
Matt's our
plays
lovely
drums.
drummer.
Yep.
Okay, great.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That gives us a better idea of what all that stuff. And then the final thing here is where are you at now? You know what I mean? What do you have coming up? And what are your aspirations?
So we have a new album coming out pretty soon. Actually, it's called The Mechanism. We have 3 singles out.
It's called The Mechanism. I
Yep.
like that. That's fucking
So-
great. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's called The Mechanism. We have 3 singles that are going to be on the album out. Rulers of the Kingdom, In Great, In Glass.
You can go check those out on YouTube. You can go to the
YouTube,
Soft Touch page for
Spotify.
all of them now, right?
Yep, all streaming
Yep.
sites.
The videos have been playing through the whole episode. If you've been watching.
Yeah, they're
right now.
Not
Well,
right now,
this is
but
Bill Murray now.
For
But
some
Yeah.
reason, Bill Murray has gotten back on the screen. I took him
Yeah.
off, and he just came right
that's
back.
because we all know who you're listening to.
Oh, he's my favorite.
Yeah.
He's my
So-
favorite. He's a good guy.
Yep.
He's a good guy.
So, yeah,
Best part of
we
Attack
have
Attack.
that going.
Chaos and Carnage.
And we have Chaos and Carnage. We're playing Chaos and Carnage, which is sick. Playing with a lot of bands that I used to listen to. And
Cradle of Filth on that bill.
like
Right?
Yeah.
Cradle of Filth,
Cradle
Dying Fetus,
of Filth.
Flesh God Apocalypse, which I'm super excited to see them. I love that band.
What's the date?
The date
May
is
4th,
May
buddy.
the 4th be with you.
Wow,
Ooh,
Star Wars
Day.
Day.
The Star Wars Day, which I
Wow.
am.
A lot of
super
people are
stoked
really
about
disappointed that we're interrupting their.
Oh, come on. You can
Their
watch
big
Star
movie
Wars.
marathon.
I watch Star Wars all the time.
I watch
don't
Star
need
Wars all the
to, I don't need
time.
to watch it on the
Where's it at?
4th.
Yep. Oh, it's at the Worcester Palladium. Sorry about that.
So you know that
We're gonna-
upstairs stage.
You're
Back
excited
to
about
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. Fuck off.
Star Wars.
Back.
Priorities.
And I saw your Kingdom Hearts shirt.
Fantastic.
Favorite fucking game of all time.
Absolutely.
So,
Top tier shit.
oh, it's amazing.
Well, that's a side conversation.
Yeah,
We'll
that
have
is a
later.
side conversation. We'll have that later.
We can do a whole other
We'll
episode
have
on
that
that
later.
shit.
Yeah, oh yeah. We'll
So-
do our own podcast.
Yeah.
How didn't this come
get
up
Ben.
sooner? We could
Yeah.
have done a whole pod on
I
this.
know.
All right,
geez.
so you get out. We'll get Ben in here.
I'll come back. And we'll talk about
I
Kingdom
have never
Hearts.
played Kingdom Hearts, and I hear so
You know
much.
what?
I hear so
You
much.
are no longer hosting this
Yeah.
podcast.
Okay.
Oh, you
Pass
got
the
it.
right.
mic.
Okay.
Go.
We'll get
how you doing?
Ben in here, and we'll do a whole spin-off episode of Rock Bottom with Kingdom Hearts.
In my
Kingdom Hearts
defense, I
is
played all Final Fantasy, not Kingdom Hearts, which is
Dude.
like the same
All right, so you
thing.
put the
but-
fucking mic
Yeah.
down too.
Whoa.
Nobody's hosting this anymore. You're hosting this.
You're hosting.
Zach, you're taking
Hi,
over
my
now.
name's Ottavio. I'm the new host of this podcast. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'll get back to you.
Welcome to the special edition.
Hi, this is a special edition, limited edition.
Yeah, I'm into it. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
put a bow on it. Put a bow on it.
Yeah, I mean,
Shout out all your socials.
Yes.
yeah, throw a bow on it, boys.
Soft touch mechanism for everything on our socials.
Fantastic. I love how easy
You
that
have
is.
anything to say, bud?
Soft touch mechanism.
Soft touch mechanism. If you didn't know, soft touch mechanism. It's
Get off
there.
this podcast and go on Spotify, type in soft touch mechanism.
Yeah.
There probably isn't another one
Literally
out there.
Fucking Google it, and we'll come up.
Listen to it until you can't anymore. Just keep repeat.
If I
listen.
meet any of you people,
Yeah.
not meaning it like that, I'm just saying in general.
I kind of.
He gonna get you.
We were
I
going
want
there.
you to be able to quote one of my verses,
Okay.
and then I'll give you a crisp, clean high five.
A crisp, clean high five.
Crisp
And $1. Give him $1.
and a dollar.
And $1.
It's taller.
And
And
$1.
a dollar.
And $1.
I'll sign the dollar
I'll take it.
just for you.
Hey.
I'm gonna come up to you at the next show and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna
You
say
don't
one of the
count.
lyrics.
I know you listen to us
Yeah,
on
but
the
I
daily.
do. You didn't specify that I wasn't. I'm
Mike
gonna come up
doesn't
and
count.
get that $1 and that high five. Crisp.
Mike doesn't
And it
count.
better be crisp.
He smells.
If it's not, if that high five ain't crisp, I'm out. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Zach?
that's it.
All right. On that note, I don't know why I'm not going to be the ending guy, but that's sure. That's well, guys, thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate
It
it.
was a good time, boys.
Yes,
It was a
great time.
super, super fun time.
Yeah.
I will definitely come back.
Yeah, we'd love to have you
Oh,
guys.
we'd love
back.
to have
It
you
was,
again.
I think that has to happen now. Because
Yeah.
We have a topic.
yeah, apparently we have a Kingdom Hearts special
Yeah,
episode to
Kingdom
do.
Hearts, man.
All right,
best
all
game.
right,
up the
producer's
PS2.
killing us. How
Yep.
do we end this? How we do this? We do the.
I'll do it.
Okay, you do the thing. All right. There's always a bit we do at the end.
Usually it goes, this has been the Mighty Fall podcast. Check out the Mighty Fall on all major outlets if you can. If you don't, we don't really care. It's
Fuck
okay.
you.
The soft touch mechanism is here. They're really cool. Check them out or don't. Whatever.
love you.
Go check out their shows or don't. We suck.